Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Michael Meier Show. We're going to be starting up in a couple of seconds here. Please don't forget that if you're watching the show live or if you're watching it in the replay, to ask questions in the comments below, because we do get to those comments, respond to them, our guests respond to them, and we do want this to be interactive. It's all about sharing value and helping you grow an epic business. So in order for us to help you, please interact with us and ask us questions below. Our guests are gracious and they like sharing, and they will be happy to respond to you. We're going to get everything going. I just want to also say that if you are watching this in the replay, thank you very, very much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for growing your business, putting the work in, because we all know you got to put in work to reap the rewards. So, I want to honor the commitment that you're putting in by tuning in and giving you some great content to help you build your business. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping into the show. Today we have a special show for you. We have a realtor on our show who sold 98 homes in 2016, and she did it without using traditional techniques. Traditional techniques are like getting open houses and getting all your leads from there and, just traditional old school marketing. And we're going to specifically hear how she did that. So hold on, and we're going to jump into the show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's going to be an awesome show. Great content, great value, great tips to help you grow your business. I'm here with Jennifer at Meier Real Estate. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Michael. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for co-hosting the show for me. If anybody's any questions, please just jump in and ask. Once again, anyone watching this in the replay, ask questions below. We will get to it. We will respond to you. Without further ado, let me introduce to you a real estate agent who has grown an amazing business, 98 deals in 2016, not using traditional forms of marketing. I got to learn how she does it. I'm sure you want to learn how to do it as well. So let me introduce to you a realtor from Edmonton, Sara Kalke. How you doing, Sara?
How are you?
I want to, first of all, thank you so much for jumping on the show with us. I know that you're traveling at the moment. Where are you right now?
We're in Paso Robles, California.
Nice. So you're having a good time, I hear, over there. What brings you there?
Well, what brings me here is actually the thing that brought me into real estate, which is horses. So we're here to watch the NRCHA Derby. It's the National Rein Cow Horse Association, which is the sport that I do and the reason that I actually got into and saw real estate.
So that's an interesting story there. Please share with us, how did that get you into real estate?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I actually have...
Thanks for setting me up.
Yeah, people are like, what? You're welcome. I actually have a classical music degree. I studied, I have a degree in flute performance from the University of BC in Vancouver. And I planned, even though I'm from Edmonton, I planned after going to Vancouver that I would go to Europe and be a classical musician. That was going to be my career. And then a number of things happened that kept me in Edmonton for the summers of university. And in the summers, I decided that to make some money, I would go and work for a real estate agent who is a family friend. And as time progressed more and more, I started to realize how much I loved being in Alberta. And I missed being back at home when I was away in Vancouver. And one of my uncles found out that I always really wanted to ride a horse. So he went to this auction sale and bought this horse that was she was good enough that I could get on her, but she was fairly dangerous. She'd be on a flat out runaway all the time, but I loved it anyway. And at the end of music, I decided instead of going to Europe right away, I would just defer it for a year worked for a family friend who's in real estate. Thought, well, so long as I can ride horses, that's the most important thing. So fast forward, I ended up meeting my husband, I ended up buying my own horse. And I thought, well, forget classical music. I've always wanted to be a cowgirl my whole entire life. So that's what I'm going to do. And I saw a cow horse show, which is what I compete in now, at around that same time. And I thought, one day I will be a cowgirl who does cow horse. You can hear my daughter here. She's with me at the horse show. She's like my sidekick. Here. She's always like famous on her own accord, I think.
Yes.
Go watch your iPad.
Sure.
So that's why I do real estate. And, if people ask me, how do you stay motivated to sell a lot of houses? I always say horses. If you want to be motivated, have a hobby or something that you're really super passionate about, and something that drives you to make sure that you're selling, one more house, or, answering one more phone call, or doing that one extra thing that maybe you're really tired. If you have that really solid motivation of something that you really, really, really love, that you can pay for if you do enough of it, then forward and keep doing all that work.
Yeah, it's really funny. So last week, we had Ryan Serhan, he's on the $1 Million Listing team, and he was talking about how he gets jealous of people that have dogs, pets, and kids, because like their money on social media and like everybody loves, and meanwhile you got your daughter already on the show and you got horses. Like you just took it to a whole new level. So nice. Good job there.
Thanks.
So jumping forward now, you're in the real estate game. How long have you now been a real estate agent?
I started in 2005 as an assistant. Mm-hmm. I got my license in 2008, started selling in 2010. So really it's been this kind of long thing. I've been selling on my own since 2010. So years, in my 8th year, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And so, we've been talking a little bit, and the reason we've been talking is, first of all, I've seen you online quite a bit, and you're definitely connecting and being out there, and we respect a lot of the same people, know so a lot of the same people. And so, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out, while you're away, to jump on this phone. You're in a hotel, you had to figure out how to get Wi-Fi. So thanks so much for making this happen, and kind of honoring our guests by sharing some of your wisdom. So we were talking, and you were telling me that back in 2016. You did a ton of business, and you did it in a non-traditional way. So tell me a little bit about that, and what does that mean? And let's get into that a little bit. Sure.
It was my best year to date. I'm on pace in 2017 to do better. Always have believed in, since the very beginning in real estate, is that if you're really good at your job and you're really, really committed, you don't necessarily need to follow all of the things that the traditional sales trainers tell you to do. And by traditional, I mean open houses, cold calling, flyers, even group email lists. I don't have one. I don't even have like a list on my email of all of my clients. I don't have a lead capture page. I don't do really a network meetings or anything like that. And I don't work with any builders or investors who are selling a huge number of transactions with me. Cause that's what people always ask. They're like, really? Well, she must have like a builder that she sells 58 for, and then the other 40 are hers, but that's really not true.
So
yeah, the main, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so you're leaving us here on a cliffhanger over here. So you did 98 deals, and you're telling me that you're not using any of these card methods that people are using. Yep. So like, how did you get to 98 deals?
Well, 98, they're all separate people.
Okay.
There's the odd buyer and seller. I have a 50-50 mix approximately between buyers and sellers. And I just try and take really good care of people, and have built my business on something that is actually more traditional than all of the other things, which is personal relationships.
Gotcha. So you're getting people to refer you business. Is most of your business coming from a past client referring you business, from where are you getting the business from, and how are you getting people to think of you when they think of real estate? And, like there's a lot of people out there, a lot of real estate agents that are nice people, but they can't generate, or not they can't, they don't generate 98 deals, 100 deals a year, in word of mouth. So what's the secret sauce? What kind of advice would you give for an agent, how they can replicate the success that you've been achieving?
Well, it takes a lot of effort. That's the main thing behind having a business built on relationship. Every step of each transaction has to be very meaningful and successful. And then as you connect afterwards, and most of my connection, and if there was one platform that's made the biggest difference for me, it's being Facebook. So it's not traditional by any means, but Facebook is being a complete game changer in terms of staying in touch with people who otherwise you maybe would have to send them the email newsletters. All I have to do now is just check out their page and say, oh, that's so cute. Your kid just learned how to walk or something. If their pet passes away, I can be, in a genuine way, sending them a sympathy card or, little things that keep you connected for a long period of time in a very genuine way. That's probably been number one. I think the public's perception sometimes of real estate agents is that all of our customers are just a dollar sign to us. And, they walk in the door and they get like the label across their forehead of like how many dollars we could make off of them. I don't see it as like even so much a relationship that will make me money over years. I just see them as people. And, how can I help? How can I be of value? How can we stay connected? And when we do connect and stay connected, it's a genuine way. Go watch your iPad.
Hello?
Hello? That'll make sense.
Yeah, no, that all completely makes sense. Sorry, I thought I lost you there a second. That completely makes sense. Are there any do you have any structure, formulas, things that you do keep track of when everyone's birthday is and reach out to them then? Create groups on Facebook of, people that you're more close with. What are some of the things that you think that you're doing that's helping you just generate more business in ways that other people aren't, that care about other people as well?
Great question. Birthdays, I always make sure that if I'm sending my clients anything, it's something that they're really looking forward to getting. When they're not in that, 95% of people aren't buying or selling real estate. It's the 5% who maybe are that I'm actively working with, but I want to make sure I'm giving that message of 95% of life to the 95% of my clients who aren't buying and selling. So birthday cards, I always send them a birthday card. It has a gift card in it to their favorite coffee place. And it's really important. You can't screw up what their favorite coffee place is. We have 3 different levels or, different places that people get cards to. Tim Hortons, which is kind of like Dunkin' Donuts, I guess, in the States. Yeah. It's like a very Canadian thing. There's like people who are like just Tim Hortons people. Do you have Tim Hortons here? I heard it just like came there. So yeah, cool. The Tim Hortons in New York, that like messed with my mind. Then there's there's a local cafe in Edmonton called Transcend. It's like a local roastery. All their beans are like directly from different farmers in the States. They're very they have the best flat white in town. It's like very for like coffee people. And then there's also Starbucks. So, Starbucks tends to be, you can get to. It's probably the most of the walkable locations that anybody can walk there from whatever community they're in. And we have like a cardinal rule that you can't screw up where people drink coffee from. And it's just that level, it shows that your clients. You're not sending a Starbucks person to Tim Hortons because that would be like.
So do you have it as like something in your mind when you're talking to people, I need to find out where they do coffee? Is that like on your mind, something that you keep track of? It's just like when you get to know anybody, you figure that out. You find out right away. So it's not like, oh, I have to write it down. I just know by the time that we've worked together for, as long as we do, what kind of people they are. And the people that you are sending coffee, birthday cards to, and whatever, is that a huge list of people? Is that a small, like, hey, these are my sphere, the people that I really have a tight connection with? Because some people have databases of like 10,000 people. And some people, I've seen other agents who have like 50. And some of them even that have 50 do more business than those that have like, 5,000. So I'm just curious, in your business, able to generate 100 deals, learning a little bit more about how your world looks a little bit.
That's a good question. I'd have to ask one of my assistants, but I think on our list, we probably have maybe 500 birthdays, something like that.
Gotcha. So you're sending out like birthday cards like every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. And all those 500 people or so, where they go out for coffee. So you have a pretty decent relationship with a lot of people, it seems.
Yeah, I do.
Gotcha. If I were to ask you what kind of agent you are, and I'm going to preface it with the following question. Generally, There are 4 different types of agents that are out there. I had Jack Miller, one of my coaches, on the show, and he was talking about the 4 different kind of agents that are out there. There are some people that are prospectors. They cold call for business. There's some people that are converters. They'll like get inbound leads. They'll buy leads from Zillow or whatever it may be, and they'll convert those leads. There are marketers who are just phenomenal at marketing, sending out stuff and love sharing their marketing materials, and people eventually get to know them by their marketing. And then there are networkers, people who go out there and network a lot. What quadrant would you say you most fit into?
Probably more networking. I don't think of myself as like a real networker. Like I don't go to parties. I don't go to like state. I'm riding horses. So I'm not like, the kiss the baby kind of politician style networker, but I would say that's probably the closest one.
That's an interesting story. The kiss the baby politician. That's a good way to describe it.
Hey, Sarah, we actually have a question in the comments for you from Carlos. He wants to know, how did you meet some of the people in your database?
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I'm just looking for my charger for my computer. I had it here 2 seconds ago. And of course, now that my computer is blinking at me, I can't find it.
We can wait a minute.
How did I meet the people? Yeah, just give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure that I don't have
we're live, then lose you.
My battery died.
I'll do a little bit of talking over here.
Sorry.
One of the reasons that I wanted to have Sarah on the show is that this show is all about interviewing successful agents, marketers, coaches, entrepreneurs who grow businesses. And different agents out there have different ways of growing businesses. There's not one way to skin the cat, just like every business is different. And especially we at Meier, we look at every agent as someone that's building a business for themselves, and everybody's going to choose a different way to grow their business. So it's amazing to go out there and find agents that are building businesses in different ways. This is the first agent that we're talking to that's at a horse show, that we're interviewing, and that has been growing the whole business, and it is growing it in a, really through word of mouth. And so it's just interesting to see how different people are doing things. And that's why I wanted to have Sarah on the show, because I've never met Sarah in person. I've just seen her online and seen the connections that she has, and seen other people say really good things about her. And when I see people saying good things about someone, and then I go and I talk with them and I find out they did 98 deals last year, that means they're a good person and they're doing business. But what could be better than a good person who's doing good business? And that's why I wanted to have Sarah on the show. Sarah, have you found the cord?
Yeah, I found it. It was in my daughter's
Coming back into that, the question was, how did you meet the people in your database?
We're friends. How I met people was, just kind of out and about. The thing that helped me a lot was that I did the non-traditional entry into real estate, and that I was an assistant first. So I had kind of a mentorship, a space where I was learning how to be a real estate agent, how to work the back end, all from the level of the experience. of being within real estate without actually being like a salesperson right up front. So when I decided to start selling, all of the people that I knew, these were acquaintances or anybody else, they just started kind of sending people to me. And I had a few friends who were very key in the process. Police officer, and police officers, just given that it's a very social job, know a lot of other police officers. So I got a huge amount of business and referrals just from like being kind of within that world. And then I have a friend who's a big cultural community. And so he started sending me people, and then very quickly it just kind of mushroomed. So most of my people that I meet are word of mouth friends completely. They're people who I don't necessarily point personally, but they're people who come along that I get to meet. And the cool thing about a business like mine that is fairly non-traditional is it's built a database that's allowed me to be able to go over on Facebook and get the people that do know me to about me. And now, instead of just having that word of mouth sphere, I'm starting to get more and more people who are finding me right on Facebook.
So cool. So I'm sure you just went on and answered the question about how you meet people. Let me throw a question at you. A lot of the people that watch our show are new agents or agents that are early on in the business and they're trying to grow a business for themselves. Is there any advice that you could give to a new agent starting out to help them go about and build a business? Just drop some knowledge and some advice to an agent to grow.
When you become an agent, it is so scary because you know technically like how to write a contract from your licensing course, but you really don't know how to build a business. The thing that I tell people is, first of all, get crazy, super ridiculously good at your job. You can't I always tell people, especially young realtors or realtors that I meet with who want to grow their businesses, they say, I want more business. And I say, well, okay, fine. If you really want to get to the level that, you're getting paid like a professional, you're getting paid like a lawyer or a doctor or something, you need to be as good at your job as those professionals are. And they take times to learn their jobs and all the ins and outs of it. I think what I would do again in a heartbeat if I was a beginning agent is find an experienced agent. And even if I wasn't getting paid, I would help them and help them and help them and help them and do absolutely anything I could to just be in that space of success and learn the language that they use, learn the process that they use, learn details about houses. So much of our industry is so focused on selling and how do you get a client and how do you do this? But really what it needs to be is how do you become very, very good at your job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because when you get good at your job and you get more knowledgeable, it becomes easier to talk to people because you're not worried all the time about the knowledge. You're just worried about the connection.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, go get your iPad.
Tip number 2,
sorry.
Have a kid.
Yes, have a very cute kid. She's very, 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 very helpful at buy a horse. Absolutely. Do something that you love. My business, when I went to hear Darren Hardy speak a couple years ago, and it was after I'd had a kid, she was 2 at that time. So I could leave a little bit. And I could leave her with my husband or something overnight. So I went to this thing that Remax International put on, and I went down to Arizona. Darren Hardy did a 1-day seminar with us, and he talked about, he was really mean, actually. He said, you're all a bunch of losers. You could do so much better, but you're just pathetically distracted. You're always checking your phone. You're on Facebook all the time, and you all suck, basically. And then what he said is, you're all living this life as if you're going to be doing what you do when you retire. And a lot of you are just going to drop dead of stress and mediocrity before that. I was like, it went to me from like having a horse, one horse that I own kind of part-time, to buying my second horse and getting really into the world of competing. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Have kids, have horses.
Yeah. All right. So my takeaway is I need to go buy a horse. I'm in New York City. It's a little tough.
You do, actually.
But
there are cow horse shows
during the show. Could be interesting.
So we do have a few more questions in the comments, so I just want to chime in here. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this was already discussed because I stepped out for a moment, but on your Facebook page, do you post consistently, or how do you stay in contact with people through Facebook?
I do. Facebook is being social just like any other world. So the best thing that you can do on Facebook is be that cheerleader in people's lives. So, there's always that like one person, like everything you post on Facebook, they're always like there being like, oh, that's awesome. I love it. Oh, your kid's so cute. Or, that will trump 100% of the time, no matter what, hands down, always. So most important thing is be connected. Now, you don't have to connect with like every single one of your clients, but all of the people who you feel like a relationship with, I would say connect with them and stay in touch with them as like just a really positive impact in their lives. Actual, like my business page, Sara Kalke Realtor. I do post consistently. I post a lot of my listings, which is just, we're in the really thick of busy season right now. So I post, a lot of listings that I'm boosting just to get that traffic and that exposure for my clients. Post, market updates from time to time. I post just little tidbits of life. I think my most successful non-boosted post was a picture of me at 10 o'clock at night at McDonald's, where I like had Wi-Fi, and I was like this, like next to my computer with like selfie with my computer. And if you have a Facebook business page, you know that Facebook doesn't really show stuff to people unless you're actually boosting it. But that one particular post, I think, had a lot, but it was, for a real estate page, it was pretty good. I think I had like 36 likes or comments, 36 likes, and then a whole bunch of people were commenting and interacting. And it was all just because I was being silly and like posting this selfie of me sideways on my computer. But I try and keep it like a blog of my life a little bit. Compliment I think I've ever received about my Facebook page, it was from my 24-year-old hairdresser. She's like one of the coolest people I know, started her own salon, just like all completely on her own, just 24. Nice. And she said to me, she was like, I just want to run my social like how you run your Facebook business page. Boom, that's awesome. Like my cool 24-year-old who like knows more than I do about everything cool likes my page. And she said, I like that it feels like a blog about your life.
That's nice. Let me ask you another question. I know a lot of people that are, they have a lot of friends, they have a network, like, and they go out a lot and all that kind of stuff, and they have a lot of friends, but it doesn't always translate into business. And I'm curious because you also have friends, but yours is translating into business. And I think that they're nice to people that they know. They have friends, they're friends. Is there something that you're doing that actually turns the friends into business? Is there anything that you can think of that you might be doing that's giving you that little thing that generates the business?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing I think I tell people is that I don't have friends in like the traditional sense so much that I'm like going out all the time. I mean, I have a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. I have 3 horses. I show them, I'm very, very busy. I'd say the one thing that I'm really good at doing is, of all the people in my world, I focus on 2 different categories. One is myself and my family, and the other is my current clients. So I'm not so much focused on like, oh, let's go to this person's birthday party or whatever to get connections and then ask everybody if they're buying or selling real estate. I, in fact, never ask anyone if they're buying or selling real estate. Like, it's kind of a cardinal rule of mine. I won't like talk to friends. I won't talk to, and like, I don't. What I do is make sure that I'm doing such a good job with people that they're friends and stuff to me. They do it themselves. I don't do it for them. They just do it.
Gotcha. So you're not asking for the business. You're just saying you're doing such a good job for your clients. So are most of your referrals coming from your clients or coming from just people that you're friendly with?
Oh, from my clients, for sure.
Gotcha. So you're really turning every deal that you do into a funnel of future business. I mean, you know, maybe unintentionally in some way, like you're not doing it in like a weird manipulizing way, but like, you know, essentially that's how your business is growing.
Absolutely. Gotcha.
Super cool. Jennifer, do we have any other questions? This has been really great. It was really been great to get like a sneak peek into kind of how you run things and how you run your life. And thank you for sharing with us what you're doing on social media and all this kind of stuff. It's really, really great to see. You're definitely, it's definitely been a different show than others in terms of your approach, in terms of like how you're growing your business. And that's awesome. That's really awesome. Because there's going to be a lot of people out there that are thinking, you know, what can I do to grow my business? And you're just treating your clients like gold. And you're just honoring them for doing business with you, which is a kind thing. So that's, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on the show. Let me ask you, if anybody wants to reach out to you and just ask you any questions, hopefully they're going to post it in the comments below and tag you, but how do people reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you?
If they're on Facebook where they're finding me, just send me a Facebook message. I'm always happy to chat or tag me on a post or something. That's always easy. That's great. And since I know you don't do this, if anybody's looking to move to Edmonton or needs to know a real estate agent who can help them, call Sara, because she will do an awesome job for them. And she will not only do an awesome job for them, chances are they'll send her friends and their friends, and she'll do a good job for all of them as well. Sara, thank you so much for joining us on the show. This is the Michael Meier Show. If anybody wants to reach us here at Meier Real Estate, you can find me at michaelmeyernyc.com or @ Michael Meier NYC, and just tag below, comment below, ask questions. We'd love to learn and hear from you and grow with you and watch you grow. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for watching this show on the replay. This is me giving, a high five to all of you guys out there watching this show. And of course, Sara, thank you so much for being on the show with us. Have an awesome rest of your trip. And I'm looking forward to watching some pictures of what you got going on out there. Thanks so much. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for co-hosting the show with me. We'll see you later, everybody. I'm definitely super impressed. I don't know how, I'm listening to you, but that's pretty cool to be able to really get people to just send you business without asking. I feel like I want to do a deal with you just so I can see what that feels like. What my favorite coffee is. Gonna have to. Oh no, that's what I do. A lot of what I learn, it resonates really well with what John Cheplack is all about. Mm-hmm. And I know you know John as well. I coach with John. But I did just for a few months here, just finished up. I did the same. Impact on people is the biggest, that's, people always say oh, I still don't get it. I'm like, no, but you do get it. It's all those relationships that we have. It's like how John is to us, that we send people to him all the time. Yeah. That's kind of a great model for how I try and be in my business, that he is going, because we need to know about Facebook, he goes to Facebook and becomes part of these crazy masterminds and stuff. He doesn't have to do it for his own business, but he does it to back about it until he saw wow, this would be a valuable thing to share with people. And then he just went and all of a sudden learned everything. He really dug in deep. Yeah. And that's why, people are attracted to him. And I think that's my model is just, if you have an impact on people, then the conversions just follow.